Okay, we're 1 minute.
We're 1 minute.
And we're live.
We're live.
And we're live, Ashley.
Hi, Rose.
Ashley's wearing 2 different socks today.
I am.
And
They look similar though.
It would drive me nuts all day long. I don't do that. You've seen my sock drawer.
I did. I did. It's
must match all
the most
time.
amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So tell us, Ashley, what you brought today for our enjoyment for this episode.
So I brought these little cannabis infused tonics. They're social tonics. So for somebody who doesn't like to drink,
that would be me. Mm-hmm.
Same. For many reasons, you can use this instead, and it gets you a little bit. It gets you in the mood to feel good, right, and to party.
So are we partying today?
No, actually, it's really mellow. It only has 2 milligrams of THC, the 4 milligrams of CBD.
I've never had a drug other than an occasional Vicodin.
Which is prescribed.
Which is prescribed. It's definitely doctor prescribed. But the THC I've never had. This makes me extremely nervous. I feel it in my gut a little bit.
Right.
But CBD works in some scenarios and works in not to others.
Okay.
I took CBD when I was dealing with some butt problems a couple years ago.
Did it help?
It did not.
So did you put it on your butthole, or did you take it in your mouth orally?
It was an oral. Well, first they gave me an oil, and then they gave me they didn't. I just bought it. We went to a
dispensary.
A dispensary, yeah. And I was desperate. I was in a lot of pain.
Of course.
And so I remember going in there with Thomas. We went to some comedy show beforehand, and then while we were sitting there watching Jay Oakerson, I don't know if you know that comic.
I don't.
We were watching Jay Oakerson. It was his special, and I remember sitting in the seats.
And your butt.
And the whole time I'm like this. And it was so uncomfortable. So we went to this dispensary, and I was like, okay, let's try CBD. I've never done any kind of drug.
I know.
And I was desperate. So they gave me this thing that you like put under your tongue that dissolves. And then they gave me an oil that you just put under your tongue. What is it called? A tincture or tincture?
Yes.
Whatever the hell it's called.
Puncture.
And I would constantly be dripping it and nothing would work. I think the pain was far beyond what CBD could hold.
Okay.
And then I ended up having surgery and getting my butt snipped. But.
And then you were better.
THC. Are you going to try it?
Oh, I've had it before. This I've tried. I told you, I'm not a huge fan of THC. It makes me paranoid. Really paranoid if I do too much.
Oh, see,
and once I start to do something, I typically don't know when to stop. So with this, I did find with this though, 2 milligrams is such a small amount that I barely felt anything, but it was a bit of a relaxing.
Where do you get this?
At a dispensary.
Are they expensive?
I don't remember. It actually came in a 6-pack.
Like, I'm afraid to open mine and not be able to commit.
I'd
love you to open yours so I can sniff it.
Oh, I'm going to open mine.
Oh, yeah.
But if you do open yours and not drink it, it's fine. You're good.
But,
I promise you.
This is a single podcast amongst many.
Right.
So we may need to savor.
I can buy more.
Have you tried this flavor before?
Yes.
This is lemon lavender.
Yes. It's an interesting flavor.
I feel like my husband might be upset that I'm doing this without him. He's been wanting me to
experiment.
Maybe he'll hear me in another room. I don't know. But he's been wanting to do edibles.
Oh.
And I keep going, I feel like I would die.
Yeah. I don't think. No, go ahead.
We're vaccinated.
I don't
Both
think.
Both of us are vaccinated.
I don't think edibles are the place to start for me.
Oh, I feel it in my bloodstream.
You're already.
I'm ready to go. What else do we want to talk about?
First little sip of THC,
Let's go.
And now look at her. She's flying off the handle.
It actually has a decent taste. I don't taste anything weird about it.
Right? There's something on my can.
Sorry, it might have been my...
It multiplied.
It multiplied?
No, I think it was... I don't know. Who cares? I don't even care.
It's my love.
I'll still drink it.
Yes. I will sip on my water.
So like I said, if you choose to drink it, great. If you don't, you can put it in the refrigerator. Either you or Thomas can do it later.
How it reacts to you?
Yes, how I react to it.
Yeah. How long? Yeah, that's what I meant.
Every person is different. I don't know. For me, usually 20 to 30 minutes. But again, this is super light. So, and before I came over, I did take a dropper full of CBD. I had
under your tongue, or
yeah.
So you have the tincture thing too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called Euphoria, so I thought that's fun.
Yeah.
But my head was pounding. I don't know what happened after we got done at the salon and we came home. On the ride, my head was killing me. It was up here just.
And it helps?
It helped. Well, I did take an Advil too. So I guess I can't really say that it was for sure the CBD. But I will tell you, my head does feel a lot better now.
I mean, I've also taken Advil in my life, and it does help with headaches. So
it does.
I mean, you know what? CBD.
I think the combo.
It's the CBD.
It made me.
It's gotta be the CBD.
CBD.
Screw the Advil. Advil does nothing.
No. Ibuprofen, no.
I guess I'm expecting when I was doing the CBD oil treatment and then the under the tongue. I don't know what it was called, but it was like a almost like a piece of paper thing that like melts under your tongue.
Okay.
But you know well, at least for me, I took it and I would sit there and like wait for a reaction or a relief, and it never got there. So I don't know if it's supposed to work for pain though, right? I mean, I think it's more for.
Yeah. So I've gotten the like the massage oils and stuff, and I really want them to work.
Yeah.
Because there's times my joints just really, really hurt. And I have tried CBD, THC massage oils, and they don't seem to work any better than like, the hot, freezy stuff.
Yeah. Icy hot.
Yeah.
I don't.
That kind of stuff.
I think it's in your head. I think it's like a placebo of like what you want it
right
to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it.
But it's so weird because there's other things that end up working for certain stuff. Like I have that vibration plate.
You were talking about that.
And I feel like that does help. So I've read things about how it's supposed to help gut health. And
it's jiggling the poop down.
Right? And so that one I really do feel like helps. But again, it could just be a placebo because I don't think there's enough research studies to say that it really does work.
Possibly.
So isn't that interesting how some placebos do work and then some don't? I mean, that's just.
I think so. I think that's
right? Interesting fact.
It's very interesting. Yes. Yeah, I keep moving.
It's okay.
Yes.
My bra strap is slipping, so I want to like push it up.
It's okay. You have there you go. Listen, we're gonna get the hang of this at some point.
We will.
Right? We're amateurs. We're novices.
Yes.
We'll
first timers.
We're
virgins.
We
popped our podcast cherry.
Talking about THC.
Yes.
This is not necessarily where the podcast will end up going. But hey, might as well start there.
Right? Have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Or elsewhere.
Poop. Everyone poops. Have you pooped?
I did poop today.
I pooped 3 times today.
Oh, I bet you feel great though.
It's after 5.
See, I only pooped once today.
I normally only poop once a day. I'm doing a 20-hour fast normally. Okay. Thomas and I during the week we do 20-hour fast, 4-hour eating window.
Okay.
Which has really helped the poop schedule. I'm a wake up in the morning poop girl.
Okay.
On the weekends, poop wakes me up.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like this schedule that's like my body knows. It's 7:00. It's
time to poo.
And I'm ready to come out. So it's difficult for me to go, hey, you know what, this week I'm going to sleep in because my butthole doesn't understand what a Saturday is.
That's
it just
a little bit sad, but
just comes out.
Pretty amazing that your body is that
But
attuned.
I hear that if you poop in the morning as a woman, it's a good thing because your body's releasing all of these estrogen, like I don't know if it's dirty estrogen, but just like used hormone.
Okay.
That your body's releasing it. So I feel like I'm just pooping out estrogen in the morning. So
no, I think that pooping in the morning is the best.
Yeah.
My body doesn't do that.
When do you poop? Do you have a poop schedule?
I don't. I wish that I did, right? I think to myself all the time, like, I wish I could just get up in the morning, poop, be done with it, go on with my day. But no. In fact, the other day, I don't remember what we had for dinner, but it was not great. And then I woke up. No, it may have been. Like maybe it was tacos, but I don't think I ate a huge amount of beans. But then the next morning before I went to work, I decided to eat a pizza, like a frozen pizza. It was like, yeah, like a mini frozen pizza, not the lean cuisine size. Like I ate the whole thing. So a lot of salt, felt super bloated, and I went to work. And then of course, while I was at work, I then had to poop.
Oh my God. Pooping out in public is the worst.
I hate it.
It's the worst. When I first started at my job years and years and years ago, I was dealing with hemorrhoids. And when they're on fire, they are on fire. And I remember being at work, like squirming in your chair, you know, because you can't like get comfortable.
Yep.
And then feeling like your butt's going to explode when you have to poop. And at the time, I had just started the medication metformin for my PCOS. And metformin like triggers like diarrhea, I'll be honest. It triggers diarrhea pretty much unexpectedly and often.
Yep.
And I remember my first day taking metformin, I went to work in the morning, took it in the morning, went to work, and right before lunchtime, my gut was on fire. And I was dealing with hemorrhoids. It was the worst feeling. And this is pre-bidet times, right? I mean, bidet times.
So it was scratchy toilet paper or wipes.
Or even those
But you don't bring wipes. Did you bring wipes to work with you?
No, I actually do now. I swear, like since I've had the bidet, I can't go anywhere and poop without some kind of like
wet
butt package. So in my purse, I have what I call butt stuff, and there's wet wipes, there's paper towels, there's you know, the little squeezy bidet thing.
Yes.
Like I just bring it because I'm like, you just never know when an explosion
that's actually
will
really
happen.
Smart.
Yeah. Like I don't remember the last time I dry wiped my butt. It's got to be over 2 years at least.
No, that's probably really good for butt health.
I think, right?
I would think so. Does your hemorrhoids feel better?
Well, my hemorrhoids have been cut. I've had 2 butt surgeries, and I've had plastic surgery on my butthole on the first one. So I have some scar tissue, but it does somewhat to look like a cauliflower head in some ways.
Which is to be expected. I mean, honestly, I don't know the statistics, but there's a huge amount of adults that have kids too.
I think I was a kid.
Right.
Don't you remember?
That have hemorrhoids. So it's a super common thing.
I remember working at the Strip at Caesar's Palace. Remember that like stupid simulated ride?
I do remember that.
I remember calling in from work because I couldn't not lie on my stomach for like hours at a time. And I remember you would call me and be like, Rose, let's go to the mall. And I'm like, Ashley, I can't, my butt hurts. Like I can't walk. Like just the walking friction would hurt.
I know.
And that was, I mean, we were like 16.
I know.
You know, I can't imagine like that feeling now. Like
right.
With kids. Yeah.
No. And I'm not laughing because it's
it's funny looking back at it.
No, but I think about like 16-year-old or 17-year-old Ashley. She had no idea what was coming.
You had no sympathy.
I was an asshole.
You said,
I was.
Buck up, chump. Let's go. You did not care.
I know.
You're like,
I just wanted to hang out with
you. My butt hurts. I remember lying on my little twin bed with my silk sheets on it. Remember those blue silk sheets? And I was lying on my stomach, and I'm like, I can't move, because if I shifted any way, it irked.
It like pulses.
Yeah.
I know.
So now when you tell me that you experience hemorrhoids, I don't feel happy for you because I will never feel happy for you. But I feel heard. Right. I feel heard. It might be 15 years later.
I get it.
No. I feel heard.
Yes.
I feel like you get it.
Yeah. No, Ashley now completely gets it. It's awful.
Did you have hemorrhoids with your pregnancies?
So not with the first, but yes, with the second one, I had really, really bad constipation, like the worst I've ever had in my life. I remember sitting on the toilet straining, trying to get that shit out, and it was not coming out. So I talked to my mom, hey, you know, what am I supposed to do about this? This shit is not coming out.
Did you say get a pencil?
No, no, only you would tell me that. She told me to use an enema. She said, get an enema, and that's the only thing that'll work. And
Did that help?
Well, yes. I mean, but so at first I was like, oh God, an enema, you know, I'm young. So I'm like, I don't even know. What do I do with this thing? So if you grab it and you read the label, it tells you like to lay down on your side or to like sit up on all fours. And I'm like, how is that supposed to work? How do I jam that thing up my butt? I did it.
You did it for like on your own?
I did it on my own.
Anybody stick it up for you?
I took it. And so this is before I had hemorrhoids though. hemorrhoids. So there wasn't like a bunch of stuff. It was just a butthole at that time. So I get it up there.
Is it internal or external hemorrhoids?
I guess at that time it was internal.
Okay.
Well, so at that time I didn't even have the hemorrhoids yet. I didn't know they were brewing in there.
Painful.
I didn't know they were coming.
Yeah.
So I shoved that shit up there, squeezed the dirty bag, and I go. And it took me like a couple, 3 hard pushes, and then it did come out. But my butt was inflamed. It hurt so bad. And then from the pushing of the pregnancy after my son is when I got hemorrhoids. So I blame him.
So it turned into external after?
Yes. And it's just kind of grown. I want to say I have 2 external, but it could be 3, like a little baby one coming out. But there's definitely like the papa bear, the mama bear, and then there's like a baby bear.
Your grandparent hemorrhoids turned into skin tag yet?
I don't know how do I know?
So the ones that I don't have them anymore because, like I said, I had great plastic surgeon remove them.
So you have a nice, pretty butthole now.
But the 2 hemorrhoids, I had 2 hemorrhoids in high school, and they were big suckers. Like, oh. And then after time, they shrink, but the skin remains. It's like, when you lose a lot of weight and your skin just kind of sags, and it's kind of like that with your butthole.
Yes.
And then it turned into like this flappy little skin tag that was just kind of there.
Yes.
So I had 2 skin tags just in the way.
Yes.
So when you pre-bidet, when you're actually wiping your butt, you have this like certain movement that you have to do to like really clean the area. And then I got another one. And then and when you say enemas, there's no way you can pay me enough money to do an enema. I'll tell you.
Really?
I'll tell you a story. The first surgery that I had before it, when you have hemorrhoids and it gets to a place where you just can't handle it anymore and you just go, all right, I've got to just suck up my pride and actually go to a doctor and spread open the butt cheeks and let them take a look and help you. I was at that place where the desperation set in. So it was found that, yes, I had hemorrhoids, but I also had an anal fissure, which is basically a freaking paper cut in your butthole. And you think, hey, it's a paper cut. It's not that big of a deal. Get one in your butthole skin, and then let's talk. It fucks with your mind. I was in a huge depression. Well, he put me on this cream that's supposed to like relax the muscle, and it didn't work. I was supposed to do it for 14 days. 10 days, I called him like, I can't do this anymore, because I had to put a finger up my butt in the morning and a finger up my butt at night with this cream, and that would just be sore.
Of course.
But why I say the enema is finally he said, okay, we need to go into surgery, and we need to basically cut your sphincter muscle to kind of like relax the spasm to let it heal. Well, before surgery, he's like, I need you to do this enema and, release whatever you've got in there. I couldn't do it myself because I was in so much pain. The day before surgery, I'm like, I haven't pooped yet because I wasn't eating, because everything that I would eat, I'm like, it's going to come out and I don't want to do it. I remember lying on my bedroom floor and I'm like, Thomas, I need you to do this. And he was as gentle as he could be. I can't remember a time I screamed, cried as hard as I did that day. Like, that feeling of it going in with the, imagine like you have an open wound and now you're scraping it with plastic and like putting alcohol on it almost. It just, it was the worst. I'm like, there's no way I would ever do an enema ever again.
Oh, it's probably the salt. Because isn't there salt in?
Yeah, I think so, right? Isn't it like some kind of...
So you basically put salt in
my wound. Yeah. And an enema isn't soft. It's not like a dildo. It's not like a soft, fleshy. It's a hard plastic piece of stuff that's going up an already tight butthole.
Right. Tender area.
There's no lube in the world that could have saved me.
No.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, see, now I love a good enema. When I'm like even slightly constipated, I'm like, give me an enema. I don't like the shit I need it out.
You're better than I am.
I got to get it out.
You're braver than I am. I will sit with the poop in my butt.
Oh, no.
And wait until it's ready to, and it flows out now. I've got 80% tightness now after the surgery.
See, so I think that
come
helps.
out easily. Yeah, it definitely helps. But oh my God, the enema was just painful.
Not something you'd like to.
Yeah.
You would recommend.
And the thing is, I've always been open to sexual relations in the nether regions toward the back once in a while. It's like it's an absolutely no-go. Ever since that experience, it's like if you get near
that ruined it for you.
If you get near it, I tense up.
And that's the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I will share. The other day we were making some sweet love. Not you and me, but
that's for later.
Me and my husband. And the slippage toward the back, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Just,
yes.
It slips. And I dug
your
my
whole
nails
body
in his, it's the fear. It's fear.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because that shit hurts.
Yeah. And I think he feels it too. Like he
right.
got kind of like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
He knows what's coming.
It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. It is. I do find it hard to have relations back there with hemorrhoids.
But you still feel like that's a possibility?
I do.
That's on the table still.
Yeah. Well, so I think I like it more than my husband does. So that's probably why I'm a little bit more open to it.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened in a long time because there is the fear that, because I just recently had a flare up and that shit, it hurts. It affects your whole life, my whole life. I'm at work. I'm sitting there. And like you said, you scoot. And for me, it runs from it's the weirdest thing. I swear when I read and I Google, because, Google tells you everything medical.
It tells you you're dying. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I Google this pain that's going down my fucking leg and it says it's sciatica. I don't think it's sciatica because only when my hemorrhoid is flared up do I get this pain down my leg.
That same.
Right?
I had that similar on my left side.
Yes.
Spark. Yeah.
See, for me, it was the right. I don't know. And so I do wonder if maybe there's a fissure in there because it does seem like when I finger it to feel.
Does it hurt?
It does. And I can't look at it myself and I've asked Josh to look at it. He can't tell the difference.
And sometimes it's in there. Because mine wasn't at the hole where you could see it. It was inside and cut. And I'm like, how the hell did that happen? But I do remember it happened about 5-6 months after we started keto for the first time. And I experienced really bad constipation. And I remember there was one time I was on the toilet just pushing. And you shouldn't ever push that hard. But once you're at a point of pushing, you're determined that mentally it's coming out.
Yes.
And I remember that was the first time I took Vicodin after that poop because it hurt so bad. And I was like, oh, man, I'm having a flare-up of hemorrhoids.
Right.
And that was probably the moment that I tore my butthole. It was just all of that pushing.
See, I wish that I could trace it back to a moment because it wasn't after my son that the hemorrhoids hurt this bad. I don't know when that happened, but it fucking hurts. Is it gone now? It's gone now.
Yeah, that's how I was too. It was a good 3 to 4 month stint where it would be nonstop hurting for 3 weeks and then it'll go away. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm healed.
Right.
Everything's fine. And then I would have one bad bowel movement and then it sticks around for another 2 weeks.
Yep.
I remember Thomas and I went on vacation to Hawaii and I was like, oh God, this is ruining everything. And half of the vacation was good. The other half came back. Yep. And then finally, I'm like, I need to see a doctor. This is not going away.
Right.
And it messes with your mind.
Yes.
It was the first time that I ever experienced what depression was like.
Oh.
Just that feeling of I remember waking up in the morning going, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to deal with this.
It's too painful.
Because it was a cyclical, right? Because I have such a routine of pooping when I wake up, I knew as soon as I wake up, the hell's going to start. Right?
Yep.
So it's dreading the morning. And
that's a miserable feeling.
It is. And I don't know about your hemorrhoids, but does it feel better when you put pressure on them when you sit or when you get off of them completely and you're lying down?
It depends on it depends on the hemorrhoid, how it's flared up.
Yeah.
Most of the time it feels better when I lay on my stomach.
See, that's how it was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in high school. And then as an adult, with my my fissure, if I was lying in bed, it would just, I don't know, maybe it was the lack of pressure.
Did it pulse?
Yes. It pulsated and then just burned and then the pain and then it just wouldn't go away. Because, normally when you hurt yourself, it's there's pain and they'll kind of ease. Yep. But it was just that constant. Yes. And the only thing that would help was sitting on it and putting pressure. So I remember sitting on a recliner, sleeping, and it just, reliving those moments.
Now it's funny though, because now you say that I had, I don't even know. I think I threw them away, but they were these ice things specifically for
I have them.
hemorrhoids. I would keep them in the freezer.
Yeah.
I would put that shit on my butt, and it would help. Like and it did help when I put more pressure on them. That's interesting.
I did too, but I will say when I talked to my surgeon about it, because I thought it was just hemorrhoids, and putting ice on hemorrhoids is great. Like, it helps the swelling and blood circulation. Right. He said, you don't have a hemorrhoid issue, you have a fissure issue. Ice will keep your butthole tighter and that way the fissure won't heal. So I was like, because I would put ice was the only thing that helped.
Right.
It's like it numbs it. It feels good. It's cold. It's kind of relaxing. It was the only ease that I really had. And he's like, don't do it because it's constricting your butthole further than what it already is. Because if you have a fissure, the natural reaction for your butthole is to tighten up to protect itself. But by doing that, it's not allowing the cut to heal.
Right.
So we had to go in there and like cut the sphincter to force it to,
that sounds horrible.
Sorry for all the butthole talk, guys, but I hope you
this is what you signed up for.
This is what you signed up for.
Yes.
25 minutes in and
we're still talking about
buttholes.
We've
Ourselves quite a bit. Yes.
I think so. I think it's good to talk about, though.
It's healthy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because we've had discussions where we've said it's not a thing that people typically, especially women, I don't go around talking to most of my friends like, hey, how's your hemorrhoid today?
I think you might be my only woman friend that I ever talk about poop and real experiences when it comes to my vagina, my butthole, pooping practices, to just get some similar reactions and get comfortable. Because I know you're not going to judge me.
Right.
We go back far enough to not to judge each other.
Right.
But when you have just random girlfriends in life, it's just not something that ever comes up.
Right.
And it should. Men talk about things that are so gross all the time.
Right.
Like, why can't we just share?
Exactly. We have, and I think that's a whole societal thing about women having these, we're supposed to be womanly and feminine, and there's idea of what we're supposed to talk about, and women don't poop, women don't stink,
we do. Every morning
all
at
of that.
7
So I think it's good, and I think there are more women that are talking about it. It's just that we need to get our stories out.
It shocks me for women that we don't talk about it, because we experience more body issues than men do. Listen, not all. Obviously, there's some men that deal with body issues. But as far as having periods and, of course, pregnancy, and then what that does to your body in general, and then we say nothing about it.
Right.
Like, we don't talk about it. When we have periods, we're just expected to just bleed and not complain, not address things that are happening.
Right.
When things aren't working properly, it's between you and your doctor. You don't talk about it.
Right.
And it does a disservice. It did a disservice for me.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't have parents to really walk me through the steps of life. You just kind of run into it. And then I talked to my friends about it.
Exactly.
That are my age.
And at that time, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. No. So nothing got resolved.
I remember when you were having periods, I wasn't bleeding yet. And I would just pretend like I was. Because, okay, that's what my friends are, that's what's happening to them. It's not happening to me. I can't admit it's not happening to me. Because then now I'm going to look like the weirdo.
Right.
So then you go, yeah, me too. And then you end up suffering later on in life because...
Right, because you don't tell anyone like, hey, I
there's a problem.
You're 18 and you don't have a period.
Yeah. I mean, it would help if you had guidance, but maybe that's for another episode.
Absolutely. We'll touch on that.
Yes.
Probably more than once.
Most likely.
Absolutely. Yes. But yeah, so I think it's really good. I have. Yes.
As an adult?
Not like a full on poop. I don't think. I can't remember like a full on, but there's definitely been times where I trusted a fart.
Trusted when you can't trust if all farts are not equal.
But I think to like times when I was drunk and but even then I don't remember waking up in the sheets and there's like shit in the sheets.
No, I think that would be, I mean.
I would think that would be the only.
That's called incontinence.
No,
I mean,
no, but as a kid, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I think I was 10 or 11.
That was the last time.
Yeah. I think that was the last time. No. I mean like a full on shit.
Oh, full on. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh my God. No.
Okay.
There's plenty of times as an adult.
I was going to say.
For the most
leaving me
part,
on an island.
No. There's all kinds of times as an adult, especially at home, that I think it's a fart and oh God, it's not.
It's a shower.
Let me run to the. And the thing is, I'm pretty open with my family too. They all know, like, oh man, I think I just shit myself. So, I mean, it's to them, it's just a normal.
It's a normal Tuesday.
Family thing. We talk, shit my pants. Let me go wash my underwear in the sink.
Do you keep it? Do you keep your underwear if you poop in it?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I can remember pooping in my pants twice in the last 2 years. Because, like I said, my butthole's now at 80%.
Right.
So you have to really be sure that it's a fart. And so the first one, I think I might have told you this story before, but I woke up out of bed and it's 7 a.m., so it's my poopy time.
Right.
Well, I sleep with my hair down and I get out of bed and I am stretching to put my hair up because as soon as I get out of bed, I want to put my hair up in a bun and then go to the pot because I don't like my hair down when I poop. It's just
interesting
a thing. And as I'm stretching to put my hair up, I feel this and then release. And this was about 2 months post butthole surgery, the first one. So it wasn't very tight. And it just
slippage.
It just fell. It's one of those like you can't like when things are falling and it's too
late.
Yes,
it's coming
it's
out.
Just, now you just have to watch it fall. It was one of those. It's coming out and there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
But gently walk to the bathroom.
Right.
And that went straight in a bag and straight out to the trash. I didn't even rinse it. I didn't even nothing. It went straight into the trash bin, tied it up, took it out. I'm like, that underwear is gone. There's no hope for it. Though,
I now I think about it and I go, I wonder why I kept those underwear.
Yeah.
I have plenty.
How bad was the accident? Was it like, hey, this is fixable? Or was it a disaster?
I mean, it wasn't. It was more like a skid mark. Like, how.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I mean, you get skid marks for your period. You have like period panties sometimes
right.
where you get a little accident. That was not this.
I'm trying to think how much. So there was a time that I was pretty constipated and I don't know why I just didn't do an enema, but instead I did a suppository. So I should have known when I take a suppository,
preparation age,
not to go out. Right.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, I thought, hey, we're about to go out. I don't remember. I think we were going grocery shopping or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I decided to shove a suppository up there and we go grocery shopping, me and the fam, and we're in the parking lot and I think I have a fart and I completely forgot that I'd even taken it.
You got that white
and
ooze
so,
coming out of your butt.
So it wasn't like a shit, but it was a suppository. So I told my husband because we're in the car, this happens and I'm like, yeah, I can't get out of the car till we get home now. So whatever we're doing for the rest of the day,
I'm sitting in here.
Yeah.
Did you mess on the car?
Did you have to clean the car? Oh, okay. No, so luckily it was just enough. You. Yeah, my pants kept me.
I will say my pants has protected me in many occasions.
Right.
I don't sleep in the nude. It's weird.
I don't either.
The only reason I will say, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but I sleep always with some kind of like capri pants or something because my thighs are fat. And when they are naked touching each other, they stick and they sweat and they're so uncomfortable.
Yes.
And so if I didn't have fat thighs, I'd probably sleep naked.
Right.
But that's the only reason why. And I found for fat thighs, if you just have a seam going down the sides of your are you a side sleeper?
For the most part, yes.
I'm a side sleeper, and I used to have these like little leggings that I would like sleep on my side, but then I'd wake up and I'd have that seam deep into my fat, and so I found these seamless ones, and they're lovely. But yeah, that's the only reason why I can't sleep in the nude. So if you poop your pants, you at least have
right
some protection.
That's right. You have a nice little parachute to catch your poop.
You do. And that morning I wore underwear too, so thank goodness for that.
Right.
But the second one, and this was probably, I'm going to say 2.5 months ago. It was quite recent.
Okay.
Thomas and I had a very fibrous dinner. I'm sure Brussels sprouts were included. I mean, it's always included when things go amok. And we were sitting on the couch and we were both very gassy. And I knew this is gas. It's not solid yet, right? You let some go and you're like, this is it's still safe.
Right.
This one's still safe.
Right.
I feel it coming, but we're still in the air zone.
Right.
Well, the air zone went away really fast. And I remember getting off the couch, and I felt one, and I was like, I'm gonna let a little one go. And then as I'm walking to the bathroom, it's falling. No. Ashley, it wasn't solid.
Oh.
And it's falling, and as I'm walking, the bounce that you're like bouncing
right?
to, because when I walk, I bounce. And it's just.
Did it like drip down your legs?
No.
Okay.
I think my underwear is the best underwear out there.
So it stayed in the underwear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great
That
thing.
Lane Bryant underwear, that Cacique.
There you go.
Cacique, whatever it's called.
I don't know either.
Great thick underwear. It holds the boob.
So for any ladies that might,
So another underwear that went in the trash bin.
Oh no.
But that's the last one. I'm hoping that's
for
it.
A bit,
yeah.
Right?
It's the only story for a while. So has your THC kicked in? Are you feeling loosey-goosey?
So I haven't drank a ton, but I do feel like you did it. Did you like the flavor?
The flavor's not bad.
Okay.
I like it's lemon, right? Lemon.
It's
and
a lavender.
I do like it's a very fresh flavor.
Yeah. See, I like it.
It's nice.
Yeah. But it doesn't make me feel. So this is the thing, right? When I've done weed in the past, THC in the past, edibles are just an absolute no-go for me because.
Why? Is it because
it's too much? It's way too intense.
Is it too many milligrams in edibles normally? Because that's two, right?
Haven't,
These are two.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I haven't come across an edible that's ever worked not too much for me. Okay, for example, I did one, and it just makes me really paranoid. Like everything, I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do that. Or, oh my God, what if I hurt somebody? Just the weirdest thoughts come to my head. Like I've never physically hurt anybody that I can think of, but that's the thoughts that I was having. And so I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. When I smoked, I did find there was times that I could get to a point where I was just feeling good.
Does it make your lungs kind of heavy? Just always afraid to smoke anything.
No, and I don't necessarily think that smoking is the best course of it either.
Yeah.
But see, even then, so there'd be sometimes I could smoke just a little and I knew when to stop. But again, for me, I just have a problem with a lot of substances that I don't know when to stop. So for me, it wasn't worth not knowing if I was going to do too much or not. Because when I do too much, it's just, I don't like that. Just
control?
And the thing is, I don't even mind losing control, but on that, I don't like those intrusive thoughts. And it's just the weirdest thing. I was asking around. Some people were saying if you do the sativa strand, that typically is what tends to make people a little bit more, like if somebody's wanting to be creative and a little bit, give them some energy. Which one is the one that
gives you paranoia? Is it sativa?
For me, it's sativa.
It is.
And I've heard from, other people that said the same thing. So they said to try something with just indica, and I haven't done that yet, only because I just don't want to be paranoid. To me, it's not even worth. And the feeling, from this, I just really get such a light feeling from it. And that's all that I want. I don't need something that's going to knock me out.
Yeah.
I have my anti-anxiety pills. So if I'm really feeling anxious, I will use that. For me, I know some people take it to help with anxiety. Doesn't work for me that way.
See, that's what I'm wondering if it's going to work for me either. Because I'm so much of a control freak that I don't think I can truly let it take over to relax me.
Right.
The only thing that's ever helped, obviously Vicodin, was
right.
kind of, I've never really taken any other drug. Vicodin was just what I had available when I was dealing with that feeling of being like that suffering feeling that you just need that release.
Yes.
But alcohol to some extent.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
Alcohol doesn't relieve pain. It just puts you in a different mood.
Right.
But see, I can't handle alcohol outside of my house.
Yeah, I can't really handle it at all. I just turn into, again, so saying I obviously don't get paranoid on alcohol, and I love the drunk feeling, but I'm the type of person that there's times when I start to drink, I don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want my kids growing up with a mom that was an alcoholic.
Yeah, that you can, control it.
Especially, for my own childhood. I just want my kids to have a mom that if they come to me or they call me, I'm able to drive to get them or whatever the case.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And normally when I don't drink very often, but when I have, it's usually Thomas doesn't drink. So we kind of like keep an eye on each other.
Oh, that's a good thing.
It's not, I can't remember a time where we've both been drunk at the same time. Oh. It's normally like he'll drink with me, but he'll see that I'm enjoying myself and then he will just stop.
Okay.
And then keep an eye on me. And because and it's always home. Like we don't drink out, but he will be like, okay, here, keep drinking the water. You always have water. Hey.
Right.
You have to drink all this before you have another drink. So there's always that. He got quite drunk the other night, not meaning to.
Right, that's the thing.
Yeah, he usually sips bourbon every night, and he got this new one, and he put a little bit too much with Cola Zevia, like to mix it, and I tasted it, and it was like straight up bourbon, and it was like a big like cup of it. And I was like, oh, do you want to go to the boudoir? Like, like at night, we're just like, boudoir time.
That's
like we go
cute. I like that.
We go to the bedroom and it's usually like our settle down. And he goes, oh, let me drink this real quick. And he walks to the sink and he downs it.
Oh.
And then I go into the room and he comes in later and you could see it like instantly. He goes, I'm drunk.
The glaze, right? Glaze dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do like him a little buzzed. He does release he's a little tense. More tense than I am, which is
really
weird. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I'm a control freak. That's why I don't like to drink. I like to know my surroundings. But with him, he's always he's more serious.
Okay.
And when he had a little alcohol in him, he got goofy. Oh. He was like throwing himself on the bed.
And you liked that, right? Because it was so different.
Funny.
Yeah.
Like he would get up to go pee and he just like come back to the bed and just like throw himself. And I don't know why it was so funny because he's always just so stiff. Oh. So it was fun, but I don't want to encourage,
of course,
alcoholic behaviors.
Right. But it was fun.
It's a fun Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. See, Josh is really good. He doesn't allow himself to typically get super drunk. And even if he does, see, I'm the type that blacks out. He doesn't black out ever. He always knows. See, and I've blacked out more times than I can count. And I guess when I was in my 20s, after the day after it happened, every single time that I felt a huge, tremendous amount of guilt over it. Like, what did my first thought was always
anything?
So some nights it's like a gray out. I can remember bits and pieces. And then there's other nights where it's like, this is the last point of the night that I remember. And I remember nothing from there. And so Josh, for somebody who, like my husband, who doesn't get to that point, it took him a long time to understand, because he would say, how do you not remember that? Because no matter how drunk he gets,
he'll remember.
He can remember the night. And so it took him a long time to understand that I mean, it really, because when I would get that drunk, I would do super shitty things. Mm-hmm. I would say shitty things. A lot of times I would just leave and nobody would know where I was at.
You get mean when you get drunk?
There are times. So that's the thing. I never know if I'm going to get mean or if I'm going to be a fun drunk. I do think, because we used to drink in our early 20s, we drank a lot of Jaeger. I don't think Jaeger's good for me. I think Jaeger was definitely probably a mean one.
Okay.
But I've gotten blackout drunk off of vodka, tequila, beer. Oh. I mean, anything you can think of, pretty much alcohol-wise.
Like when you're blacked out, you're still awake.
That's the weird thing.
Right? You're still awake. You're still functioning.
Absolutely.
But there's no memory of it later.
No. And so that's where the thing Josh would say, you were so with it. He's like, I didn't even know that you were that drunk until the next day, when I would tell him, I don't remember doing whatever that was.
Oh my gosh. That's
and it's
scary,
so
right?
So that really is scary. I would say I don't want this to happen anymore. But then we would go out and I would always have a plan. I always had a plan. Okay, I'm just going to have 2 drinks and that's it. Or I'll have, 2 drinks and then eat some food and then have 2 more drinks. But the problem is I never listened. Not that I never followed that plan, right? But the plan didn't always go that way. So there was some nights certainly that I did good. It's so funny to say, like, I drank alcohol and I was good, but we had good nights where I didn't black out and I only drank enough. Yeah. But then we could do like 3 months, 3 months of an Ashley that drinks really well. And then I have an incident where I just completely black out and I'm an asshole. And I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Is there no stopping? Like, has Josh said, okay, that's enough, and you won't allow it? Like, it's just no stopping you.
So there was times where he would be like, okay, I'll be the one to control the alcohol. So I would ask him, hey, can I do a shot? Guess what happens if he tells me no? I'm going to do a shot anyways.
Anyway.
Exactly. So that didn't end up working. Yeah. And he would try to tell me like, hey, drink some water. And I would be like, I'm doing what I want. Because at a certain point when I'm drunk, I'm like, I don't need to drink fucking water. I'm going to do what I want. And so
it's just, you've gotten to a place where there's just no.
Now I did go out because last month, March is social work month. So me and my coworkers went out and everyone was ordering drinks. So I went ahead and ordered drinks. And I only had 2. And when I got home, we had alcohol. No, we don't have alcohol in the house like we used to. It used to be always beers in the refrigerator, always alcohol in the freezer. Because I don't drink as much, that isn't the case. But we did have a bottle of vodka and a bottle of, I think, Jack. And I went home and I looked at that bottle of Jack and I did consider taking a shot and I didn't do it.
Wow.
I was really proud of myself.
Yeah,
I really was.
It's like a proud achievement, especially when it's tempting.
Because I had gotten, I don't remember what the first drink was. It was good. But the second one was basically just like a couple different bourbons in a glass or scotch or whatever it was. Yeah. And so it was a pretty strong drink. So I was feeling pretty good by the time I had that second drink. And then we ate and I was okay. But when I got home, I was still feeling, my inhibitions were slightly lowered. So I was like, first of all, it's a work night. It was a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So I said, this is probably not a good idea. And I didn't do it. And I really,
That's like a huge issue, especially when you allow yourself to go that far.
Right. But that's what scares me because I do have moments like that where I tend to slip back and I go, okay, I'm good. I can handle alcohol. See what I'm saying?
It's the crack.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like that with donuts.
I think, I don't know, not that I don't want to say that I will never drink again, but I really will be like that particular, like that dinner, that lunch that I had with those friends. There will only be certain, like if we wanted to have a glass of wine here, that I would be okay with. And I really could say, I'm not going to do it after this.
Is it do you feel like you have to go more into alcohol for more of like fitting in with the crowd to feel more comfortable with the crowd?
I think part of it is the loosening up. Yes, absolutely. I have terrible social anxiety. So having an anti-anxiety medication does help with that. Now I know if I take this, I can feel just as good.
Does it help when
it
you
does.
take really?
Tremendously.
So when you go into a crowded room, I don't know if you have, I don't know, with COVID and everything, but if you walk into did you ever feel that anxiety walking into a crowded room?
Absolutely. Just as like a completely sober person. Oh, yes.
Me too. So
my
when you're
hands,
on your medication, like you walk in and you feel
so
better?
If I take it, yes. I mean, there is still that. I mean, I know that there's people and I get nervous around people anyway. So there's still kind of a slight edge maybe, but for the most part, I don't, it's so much like, so even for me going grocery shopping, right? Grocery shopping makes me very nervous.
Really? Why?
Yes. Cause there's people, I don't know, the people around.
Like I hate people. It doesn't get me nervous, but I just
no,
that feeling of like, fuck.
It makes my stomach hurt. There are times I force myself to go to the grocery store without anything, but it's it's a much better experience. And then by the time I get to the checkout line, I'm angry because I've had so many, and you know what, a big part of it is, and not even that I'm a huge rule follower, but there's certain, like if I'm standing here, right, and I see that somebody's coming along, like I have my grocery basket and I'm going along, and I see that somebody needs to be where I'm at, I will kind of move so that they have enough space, right? Or if I'm in an aisle and nobody's there to begin with and I'm looking for my product and then somebody comes along, I'll move so they can go by. Not everybody does that.
A lot of people don't.
Right?
And there's some areas that are worse than others.
Yes.
Like some Costco's are better than others.
Right? So you know what I mean. Yes. And so it makes me nervous to have to ask them. Like, first of all, it makes me pissed.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you see me here. Like, I'm clearly a person.
Right.
And I'm big and I got bright hair. So you know that I'm fucking here.
Right.
And so but maybe they don't. So I do try to go maybe, and backing up, I do try to say maybe they don't see me. I don't know. Maybe they really are that oblivious.
I think you give excuses.
I probably do. Right. And I think, because when I say excuse me, for the most time, people are like, oh, okay. But, sometimes people are like, And I'm like, you fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like they act like who are you to come by and say, excuse
I'm busy.
me?
I'm doing my own thing.
So all of those interactions make me super anxious. And then by the time I get to the checkout line, I'm so mad. There's been times I just leave my cart and I just leave because I can't even do it anymore.
Really?
Yes. It's rare, but there has been. I can remember it wasn't a completely full, and I hadn't even finished all of the grocery shopping, but I was like, I got done with what I needed to do, and I was looking. I think I had one more thing to get, and I saw that the lines were huge, and I was like, forget this. I just pushed the cart aside and I left.
Do you make it known that you're frustrated?
No.
Like, no. So
nope.
It's all internal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I quietly, I mean,
So you're not like,
no. But inside I am fuming. Like I want to scream. And I think that's something that I definitely know that's something I need to work on. Like as far as letting go of feelings and because it's okay to be frustrated.
Of course.
And I don't think leaving my grocery cart there.
People frustrate me too. I'm with you on the people getting on your nerves at the grocery store. I do find that my patience level is quite big.
Okay.
Like, I have a very high tolerance for bullshit.
Okay.
And I think sometimes maybe a little too high. Or maybe Thomas has a very short fuse. Because he gets, not to the extent of like, let's leave the shopping cart, but he will get vocal. Not by yelling at people, but by the mannerisms, the like jolting quickly and, like really displaying frustration out loud without saying it.
Right.
And then that gets me.
Because you know it.
I know it. I know his size. I know his, like, when he cracks his knuckle. Like, I know the thing. And
when it's coming.
That is the trigger for me to get frustrated. When people are about and in the way, I just go, okay, it just aligns with my hatred for others, like for people in general. I just don't like people. I'm introverted. It just, strangers just get in my way. I don't look at them in the eye. I just almost pretend that they don't exist because I just don't want to connect. And so I'm fine. I can be patient and go, okay, this is just the journey for the day. But when I sense that with Thomas, I get frustrated to the point of like, I'm going to get out of here. Like my day's ruined. You've just ruined the day.
Right.
Because of his like that buildup. So yeah, I'm with you, but I didn't know you actually leave your cart. How often has that happened?
It doesn't happen like a lot. I can remember maybe 2 times, but see, then I only screw myself because I have to go back at some point and get the items that I need.
That's true.
So,
oh my God. So how much do you love Instacart?
Oh, I adore it.
I do too.
I do.
It's the best now.
Right?
Like, because now if we ever go to the store, it's because we just want to wander.
Right.
Like, you want to walk around Costco, and it's not like I need eggs.
Right.
I need cream.
Yes. It's like a lazy Sunday morning
let's just
feeling.
See what there is there. We can
if we want to buy something.
But then I can get Instacart on a Wednesday and just get everything delivered. Yeah.
See, but as much as I love Instacart, it drives me mad.
Why?
When they bring the wrong items or they don't communicate.
But they do credit you very easily. Yes,
they
it's
do.
Frustrating.
So the hard part for me, though, is my husband is super picky.
That's right.
So
is he
for
still
me,
on the, like, he doesn't eat cheese?
Well, so it has to be a particular brand of cheese.
Parmesan.
Parmesan, but also cheddar cheese. Usually it has to be a particular brand of Parmesan cheese. And so if they don't have that, now we have to go to the grocery store anyways because he's got to have this particular brand. Yeah. And to be fair, the brands that he uses do taste better than the others.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just not a picky eater. So I can just eat.
As long as there's not sugar in it, I'm usually fine. Like,
you're down to eat it.
Yeah. No, I get that. But then sometimes Instacart works in your favor. Have you ever gotten somebody else's groceries?
I've never gotten somebody's like whole grocery. Has that happened to you?
I've gotten a whole bag.
Oh man.
Like I ordered some Zevias and like a couple of things that we needed from Sprouts. And we got this bag and it had organic strawberries in it, organic blueberries. It had some carrots. It had a whole head of cauliflower, like things that like we could eat on keto.
Right.
Because I'm going through, I'm like, Thomas, we scored. Like we can eat all of this. But I kept it in the bag, put it in the fridge. I'm like, they're going to come back for it.
Right.
Someone's going to be like, hey, I'm missing a whole bag of groceries.
Right.
No one said anything. Wow. So the next day I'm like, we fucking scored. Like this could
yeah.
have been a good $15 worth of groceries, right? I mean,
yeah.
So that was good. There was a time that really sucked though.
See?
Because it was, I think it was last year Mother's Day. It was either Mother's Day or my mother-in-law's birthday, one of those.
Okay.
Well, we decided, it was COVID, so we couldn't go see her. We would get Instacart to go to Costco and buy a bouquet of flowers, chocolates, those chocolate nuggets, and strawberries, and just have it delivered there. So we had it all set up. And then I get the alert that they've delivered it. And I was like, oh, cool. So Thomas called his parents to make sure. And they got a salmon, a dozen eggs, buns, like those dinner rolls.
Oh, no.
And he's like, thanks for the dinner. Like, maybe we'll make this for dinner tonight. And when he said that, I'm like, why would you have strawberries for dinner?
Oh, no.
And he's like, were you guys going to come over? Because there's a lot of salmon here. And I was like, what? Like, we don't eat salmon. It was so funny. So the guy fixed it. Like, I called Instacart. He fixed it. But it was so funny. Because I'm like, the one time that I get it delivered to someone else.
Right.
They mess it all up.
They
so stupid. But it was,
wait. So go back. You don't eat salmon?
No.
You don't like it?
I used to like it. We went on a trip to Big Bear, Thomas and I, and we took my stepsister and her boyfriend at the time up with us for a week. And they had this restaurant there that had really great salmon. So we had it the first night, loved it. And then we went again the second night, ordered the same thing. And I violently got so sick to where I popped a blood vessel in my eye. I was just retching.
Oh, God.
So bad. And then we had to drive down from Big Bear. And I don't know if you've ever driven down by Big Bear, but there's like lots of.
Oh, twists and turns.
Oh, my God. It was puke. It was so bad. But since then, I'm like, there's no way I can have salmon.
No more salmon.
Like, salmon is off the table. Yeah. And it was good.
That's
salmon.
Yeah, salmon's delicious.
Yeah. No, not anymore. But
there are those foods. You have that one moment with them and like, that's it.
Do you remember when we were in high school and we would go to Wendy's once in a while?
Okay.
And I think you and I went to Wendy's 3 times. And those
sounds
square
about right.
burgers, I puked every time I had a square burger from Wendy's. And I was like, there's something, it's not just the shape, there's something going on with the meat, because 3 separate occasions with you. One, granted, we were drinking raspberry fucking whatever the hell shit, strawberry Cisco.
So of course it was bound to
I'm sure that was the reason. But the other 2 times, it was just Wendy's square burgers coming out. So that's another one. I just, nope.
So do you not eat anything at Wendy's?
I don't. Wendy's, we don't really go to Wendy's. So
interesting.
I mean, the Frosties were good when we were eating Frosties, but
right.
I just nope.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
And I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure if I had it now, it'd be fine.
Right.
But it burned me 3 times.
Right. That's 3 strikes, you're out.
Why I allowed it when Taco Bell is seriously always available.
Right. See, now that's surprising that Taco Bell isn't the one that
never gotten sick by Taco Bell.
See?
Have you?
No, not that I can recall.
Do you still go to Taco Bell?
I do sometimes. Yeah. Do you?
No. I haven't been to Taco Bell in years.
But see, if you're doing keto,
there's not really,
unless you're just going to eat the inside of the burrito.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
But even before we did keto, I don't know. Taco Bell's not the same.
It's not.
Compared to like Roberto's.
Right.
Or like a Pepe's Tacos.
I agree. Pepe's Tacos is where it's at.
That was my dream job.
I know, mine too. It's working at Taco Bell.
We were going to work at Taco Bell, move out together, have like this bomb ass life off of Taco Bell salaries.
Right. And we were going to have road trips where we bought 6 buckets, 3 for me to shit, 3 for you to shit. And we haven't gotten a chance to do that yet.
And it all goes back to poop.
Yes, it
does. Every time. Right where we started is where we end.
That's right.
Yes.
Poop all around.
Exactly. So I think we could probably wrap up this first episode, right?
I think so.
We're about an hour in. I think
that was a good one.
It's a good one. Stay tuned for number 2.
Absolutely.